Today we will discuss about, and the concept is, that is inheritance and polymorphism. What is polymorphism? Polymorphism, it means that is the same name with the different form. It is known as a polymorphism. There are basically two types of polymorphism are there. One polymorphism is known as a static polymorphism. Another polymorphism is known as a runtime polymorphism. What is polymorphism? That I already said that a same name with a different form is known as a polymorphism. What is inheritance? Inheritance is, we know that it is a superclass subclass relation. You can say it is a concept of reusability. Now, what is static polymorphism? It is also known as a overloading. And what is runtime polymorphism? It can be achieved using the concept of overriding. To do the overloading, we don't need a inheritance compulsory. But to do the overriding, we need the inheritance compulsory. So without inheritance, overriding is not possible. So let me give the example of the overloading and overriding so you people can get the better idea. For example, I have one class and that class is A. Now I have one function over here that is void and, for example, display. This function has no argument. And suppose if you declare here one more function of the display with one argument, then it is a overloading. Now I have one more class and that is B, which extends from A. So you can say this is inheritance. B is what? B is a subclass of A. Now I have one more function available over here in the B, the same name with the different argument, and that is, for example, integer number. So you can say this concept is known as a method overloading. This is known as a, you can say, static polymorphism. But if the same name, same type signature with the same return type and with the same number of argument with the same data type available in the superclass as well as in the subclass, then it is a overriding. Let me write the example of the overriding over here so you people can get the better idea. This is the class A, which has function, for example, void display. Now this function has no argument in this. Now I have one more class B, which extends from A. Now this B has the same function that is available in the superclass, that is void display. The same function available in the super, same function name with the same return type, with the same name and with the same number of argument with the same data type is available in the super as well as in the child. Then you can say this is method overriding. Now why this concept is known as a runtime polymorphism? Because father can access the function of the child if it is a overridden method. But if this is not overridden, then father cannot access the method of the child. Let me repeat so you people get the better idea. See here, this B class can access the display function of the father as well as this B has the access of this display. So you can say B has the two method, that is display with the one parameter and display with the no parameter. But this A cannot access the property of B. Why? Because this is the own method of B and that is not overridden from the class A. But here, if you look carefully, then this father can access the function of B. Why? Because this function is overridden in the child. In short, what father can access from the child? Father can access only overridden method from the child, while child can access all the property of the father. Let me give the practical demonstration of the same. So let me save this program as, I'm just saving this program as, that is inheritance demo 8.java. Let me declare here one class, that is A, and A has the function that is void display without parameter, and you can just print the message over here that this is display. Now I am just declaring here one class, that is B, which extends from A. So you can say B is a subclass of A. Now this B class has also a display function, but with the one argument, that is integer number, and you can say this is B's display. So B is display with the one parameter. You can say this is method overloading, and as I discussed in the paper, method overloading is known as a static polymorphism, and hence it is the static polymorphism. Father cannot access this function, right? Child can access the property of the father, but father cannot access the property of the child if it is not overridden. So let me give the demonstration of the same. Let me write here inheritance demo 8, and here I'm just declaring the function that is main. Now what the child can access, for example, if I'm creating an instance bb equal to new b, B can access display function of the father. B can access display function itself also. So let me compile this program, that is Java C inheritance demo 8.java, and let me run Java inheritance demo 8. See here, child has the access of both the function. It means child can access all the properties of the father except the private. But what father can access? This is really interesting. For example, instead of this, if I create an instance of father, it means I'm creating an instance of father that is A equal to new A. Now, using A, I can call definitely the function that is available in A, but I cannot call the function that is available in B. For example, 100. If you try this, then you will get an error. You will get an error that cannot be applied to given type. So father cannot access the property of the child. Some people says that, sir, can father point to the child? It means if you write A equal to new B, it means now father is pointing to the child. If father is pointing to the child, then also father can access the only property, that is overridden property. So you will get an error, father cannot access this. But father can access the function of B if it is overridden. For example, suppose if you write here the same function with the same type signature, with the same number of argument, with the same data type that available in the superclass, that if that the same concept is available in the child class, then this function will be called. Let me write here B is a display, and this is method overriding, so you people can get the idea that the method overriding, if it is an overridden method, then it is accessible by father. Father cannot access the own property of the child, but father can access the overridden method. Here I cannot access a.display. See here, if I compile this, then I will get an error at the line number 19 just because I am passing the argument. Suppose if I pass here double slash, it means suppose if I am putting this into comment, then father is eligible to access the property of the child, and you will get the access over here. You can run this Java inheritance demo 8, and now father can access the function display child. See here, so B is display method overriding. It means that Father can access the function of the child if it is an overridden method and if it is pointing to the child. Suppose father is not pointing to a child, right? Suppose A1 is there, father is not pointing to child, and if you call the display function, then it will simply call the function of the father, then it will not call the function of the child. So now suppose if father is pointing to father itself, then it's a father function, and if father is pointing to child, then it's a child function. But this happens to only overridden method. So that is the reason why you can say this method overriding is known as a runtime polymorphism. Why it is known as a runtime polymorphism? Just because father can point anytime to its child, and child simply give the access to the function which is overridden function, and that is the reason why you can access runtime. Suppose if this A has two child, right? So let me create one more class over here. Let me copy this class B and class C. It means A has the two child. See here, B father is also A and C father is also A. Now I am writing that this is C's display and I am writing this is C's display. Now what is the wonderful benefit? Wonderful benefit over here is, suppose A is pointing, suppose A is pointing to itself. Let me write here A equal to new A, and I am writing A dot display. If A is pointing to itself, then you will get the access of A dot display. Now suppose if A is pointing to B, and if you call display, then you will get the access of B's display. And suppose if A is pointing to C, then you can get access of C's display, and this concept is known as a dynamic dispatch. This concept is known as a runtime polymorphism in Java, and that you can achieve using the method overriding. But what father can access of the child? Father cannot access the function display with the number argument. Father cannot access the display with the number argument. Father can access the only thing that father has given to his child. And father has given the same function to its child, so father can access from the child. In short, father can access, if father point to a child, then father can access only overridden function. Father cannot access A dot display, and if you write here 100, you will get an error. Father cannot access the own functionality of the child. You will get an error. You have to put comment over here. Father can access only overriding method of the child. It means, what is overriding? The same method should be available in the father. Then father can access the same function from the child if father pointing to child. But what if the same function is not available in the child? For example, B doesn't overridden the function display. If child is not overriding the function, and if father is pointing to child, then which function will be called? Right? It means that if child does not have the overridden function, and if father is pointing to child and accessing the same, then what father can access? If child does not have the function, then simply the function from the father will be called. It will not give you an error. So display function is not available in B class, but in B you have not override the method, but in B already have the function display. Why? Because it is already there in the father. Father property will be inherited into B, and that is the reason why whenever you call A dot display, it will call the A's display over here. So let me recompile this and let me run this. You will get A's display over here. It means that if child does not override the function, if child does not override the function, and if father is pointing to child, then function of the father will be called, and that is age display, age display, and age display. So if child is not overriding, then the function of the father will be called. But if child is overriding in C, then the C's display will be called. If a child is overriding the function over here, then the function of the child will be called, and that is the reason why I'm getting here, that is A's display, B's display, and C's display. This all possible using the object of the father.